Morning, guys. Mark Ferrasci, Protect Dog Training. Looking a little scrubby and woodsy this morning. my hood. It's pretty cold out here. I'll let you guys have a view. But in a general sense, we were going to go yesterday. We did go yesterday to the airport to ship that dog. And I got there and I was missing a couple pieces of paper. So I'm not a professional shipper. So every company, as far as the airlines, is a little different than the other one, but they're all kind of doing the same thing. It used to be, years ago, I could go to the airport and just ship a dog. I didn't have to worry about it as much. And nowadays, because of lawsuits and all the stuff going on, a lot more people using the airplanes to do it. And there's a whole list of dogs they won't let fly. And for those of you that didn't know it, they're all pretty much the smash-nosed dogs, the ones with a small snout. And it's because they have a problem with that altitude and the pressures in regards to being high up in the air and the cold and everything. They don't do well with it. So that being the case, they've taken the precaution to say that those dogs are not eligible to fly. So that's the issue right there. They wanted me to have a breed verification from the vet. It's a Dutch Shepherd. I'm looking right at it, and you can look it up on the internet. You can see this Dutch Shepherd, but I'm not a vet. I can't say that. The vet, that's their legal right. So I had to have breed verification, and the vet didn't either know it or whatever, but I didn't have it in my packet. And the other one was acknowledgement of their rules and regulations. So all well and good. So I had to come home last night. That's 2 hours there, 2 hours back. That's 4 hours of my life I won't get back. And now we're going to be doing it again today because I've got to get this dog off to this guy. He's in good faith, sent me money on the dog and on the shipping and everything. So I need to make sure I honor that and get the dog to him. It's a fair thing to do, but you're a little mildly peeved because, again, I'm a dog trainer. I'm not a shipper. So, but it's just something we've got to learn to deal with. I don't like having to drive all the way to LAX, but that's the only airport we have around us. You can go out of Ontario. That's another international airport, but it just costs you more. You're looking at another 150, sometimes more, depending on what's going on to get a dog out of Ontario. And then their flights are all in direct. So right now they want a direct flight from where we're at to where the customer's at. And they won't take any layovers with what everything is going on. So it's got to be a direct flight. So there again is another issue. They don't have any direct flights out of Ontario. So that's Ontario Airport in California, guys, for those of you that didn't know it. We have an Ontario airport here in Riverside. It's an international airport, has the size to land the large ones. And all the UPS planes are housed there, and a lot of the FedEx and things like that. Those larger hauling planes that they use, they come out of Ontario. So a lot of them do anyway. They do it at LAX too. But so that was my trial and tribulation. And as far as the traffic flow and that sort of thing, sorry for the lighting, guys. Traffic flow and that sort of thing was moderate. I was surprised. It was a Thursday today, Friday. So it was Friday light is what you'd want to say. It was kind of that kind of an atmosphere. It was all flowing. It was traffic on the road, but it wasn't backed up wall-to-wall traffic like you usually have in LA, where you really can't even drive. So it was a lot less than it would have normally been. But at the same time, there was still a lot of people out there. And and getting to the airport, I wore gloves and did everything I could to be very conscientious of what I touched, how far I was away from people, etc., keep my social distance, all that good thing. The folks in LAX that were working in the cargo area and stuff didn't seem too worried about it. They didn't have gloves on, they didn't have masks, and I was going, yeah. They did keep their distance a little bit. There was a lot fewer, I think, of them because they've toned everything down with what's going on. I mean, they don't have the need to have all that staffing with not the same flow going on. So one of the things I remember doing is that made me kind of surprised in a way, because I haven't worn gloves in a while in the sense of doing things in a professional way. And what that means is that anybody that's in health and that kind of thing, they learn how to put on the gowns, they learn how to put on their gloves and everything and take them off properly, because that's where you can touch the fouled area. If you had touched something that was going to contaminate you, you want to not be contaminated. So taking off the gloves is done in a particular way so that you don't touch your skin. It's the way you roll them off. But it was interesting to me because I haven't thought that thought process since I used to do medical and have to be a first responder in regards to the company I used to work for as far as being a lead officer. And so that was Joker. Good boy. I don't know what you're up to, buddy. So that was interesting that my brain right away clicked on that and I started going back to my old protocols. It was kind of interesting. All right, well, this is drawing on, and I'm just kind of yakking, so I'll let you guys have a good day. I've got to go do this drive again tonight. I didn't get any videos of my thing because I was so caught up in dealing with what I was dealing with. Getting to the right terminal, all that good stuff. If you've ever been to LAX, you know it's a pretty busy place. Even though it's a little slower right now, it's still a busy place. As far as how they got it laid out with their rounds, and you got to, right, once you know it, it makes everything really a lot easier because that's what it's all about, is flow in and out of that airport. So LAX is pretty well designed. One thing I noticed, they've got a double lane now, where they've got those poles that you can't drive through, you know, the ones that are safety for the bombs and that kind of thing, to keep people from driving into the buildings. They've got a whole lane of those on the outside edge, and then now they're a little bit more lenient with letting you park. I was able to park on the curb and then go in and deal with my business and come back out and get the dog. I was surprised by that, but then I understood how they redesigned the whole thing where it's a double lane where it keeps you away from the buildings and doesn't allow you to have that risk of having maybe a vehicle that's got a bomb in it right parked up against the building. It's going to do a lot more damage to the people and the flow. And that's also where the airport police were stationed too, with where I was at. So I think that's another big reason. But they were the ones that were letting me, and they were standing right there, a whole group of them. And with a lot less business, that's what they're up to. So I'll go do it again tonight, and we'll take Joker with us like I did. And then I got my crate all ready, and we'll go through this a little bit. They got rules. You got to have trays for water. Everything's got zip tie on it on the outside edge. My paperwork that's for the customer on the other end is taped right here, and then I've got dog food taped right here. So that's pretty much how we do our crates. And then you've got a lot of paperwork. You got to make sure you go through it, and that's what I didn't do. Each piece of paper has to be there. You're not going to be able to ship. So that was where I made my mistake, because I wasn't familiar with it. Joker. Come on, let's go. Hup. Joker. Hup. Good boy. Get in there for a bit. Go on. Hey. No, you're going to come in here. I don't trust you. You'll lift your leg. Good. There you go. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.